Hey guys, so today we're doing the elimination method, and basically what that means is I'm going to eliminate or get rid of one of these variables. So in example 1, I have x minus 3y equals 7, and then 3x plus 3y equals 9. Well, if I look, I have a negative 3 and I have a 3. It doesn't matter which variable you get rid of, so you can get rid of x and then y, or y and then x, whatever you want to do. But here, these 3's, if I add these are actually going to cancel out. So I'm just going to add x plus 3x is 4x. Negative 3y plus positive 3y cancels out, goes bye-bye. 7 plus 9 is going to give me 16. Well, now I'm just left with 4x equals 16. Remember, this 4 and the x are actually being multiplied. So to undo multiplication, we're going to divide. So I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. And I'm going to get that x equals 16 divided by 4 is 4, because remember the 4's cancel out here. So I have my x right now, but I need to find my y. And I'm going to plug it into one of these two equations, so I'm going to substitute it in. Does it matter which one? No, I'm going to pick the top one because it's the easiest, I think, to do. So wherever I see an x, I'm going to substitute a 4. And I'm putting it in parentheses. Again, that's going to help us when we get later on in math. But I'm going to have 4 minus 3y equals 7. Okay, and then I'm going to solve for y. So if I look at that 4 is actually positive. And to undo addition is subtraction. So I'm going to subtract by 4 on both sides. And you guys can draw the line down the equal sign if you want. Okay, so then I'm going to have 4 minus 4 cancels out. So I'm left with negative 3y equals, well, 7 minus 4 is just 4. I'm sorry, 7 minus 4 is 3. Wow, that was bad math on my part. And then I'm going to take negative 3 and y, since they're being multiplied, I'm actually going to divide, because again, remember the inverse operation of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by a negative 3 on both sides. Here they're going to cancel out, and I'm going to have y is equal to negative 1, because 3 divided by negative 3 is negative 1. All right? Now I'm going to go back to this original problem, and this is what you guys hate the most, is I'm going to double check my work to make sure that it's right. So wherever I see an x, I'm going to substitute a 4. Wherever I see a y, I'm going to substitute a negative 1. So looking at that first one, and I'm actually going to do it to the side, is I'm going to have 4 minus 3 times by negative 1, because remember y is negative 1, equals 7. Now you guys can just type this part into your calculator and you'll see that it does indeed check out. If you just want to do that as your check, perfectly fine. Second equation, again, I'm going to plug in 4 in for x and negative 1 in for y. We want to make sure that this does indeed check out to equal 9. And this does, because 4 times 3 is 12. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3, so 12 plus negative 3 does equal 9. So this checks out. So my solution, and we're going to write it as an ordered pair, is 4, negative 1. Okay, remember x comes first, followed by y. Alright, so that one we didn't have to do anything with it. This second one, think back to Algebra 1 when we had to manipulate stuff. So example 2 is I have 5x plus 9y equals 112. 3x minus 2y equals 8. As you can see, there's nothing I can do to cancel out the x's and y's. I can't just add or subtract or whatever. So I'm actually going to have to manipulate them. I'm going to choose to get rid of my x's. You can get rid of your y's if you want. So I'm going to multiply this top one by 3 and this bottom one by negative 5. And the reason why I'm doing that, one positive, one negative, when I add these, they're going to cancel out. So 3 times 5 is 15. Tack on that x. 9 times 3 is 27. 112 times by 3 is 336. Okay? And then this bottom one, I'm going to multiply by negative 5. So 3 times negative 5 is going to give me negative 15x. Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. So I'm going to get 10y. And then 8 times negative 5 is going to give me negative 45. Okay, now if I look at this, I can easily add these because these 15s will cancel out. These x's will go bye-bye. So I have 27y plus 10y. Well, that's 37y, which equals 336 plus negative 45 is going to give me, oh wait, this should actually be 40, sorry. My math is off. Then you should get 296. Okay, positive because the bigger one is positive. Now remember 37 and y are being multiplied. So to undo multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by 37 on both sides. They're going to cancel out here. 296 divided by 37. Y equals 8. Okay, so now you can pick whatever equation you want to type it in or substitute it in to get your x. I'm going to choose that bottom one just because it looks a little bit nicer because we have that negative 2. So wherever I see a y, I'm going to substitute an 8. So I'm going to have 3x minus 2 times by my y, which is 8, equals 8. All right, so that 3x I can't do anything with. Negative 2 times 8 gives me negative 16, equals 8. Here's where I'm going to draw that line down the equal sign. I want to get that x by itself, so to do that, I'm going to choose the one without the variable, and I'm going to kick that out first. So I'm going to kick out that 16. I'm going to add 16 to both sides. Here they're going to cancel out. So I'm left with 3x equals, well, 8 plus 16 is 24. Remember, this 3 and the x are being multiplied, so the undue multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by 3, divide by 3, x equals 8. Here's where we check it out. So we're going to plug it into the original equations here, both x and y. And again, if you guys want to type that in your calculator and not do it by hand, go right ahead. I'm actually suggesting that you guys do that for time's sake. So I'm going to have 5, and I'm going to substitute an 8 in for x, plus 9 times by my y, which is also 8, equals 112. Does that equal 112? When you type it in, 100% it works out. Then I'm going to have 3 times by my x, which is also 8, minus 2 times by my y, which is 8. Does this equal 8? Wow, this problem has a lot of 8s. Yes. So my solution is 8, comma 8. All right, so just to recap for this. When you look at the problem, make sure that you can get rid of one right away. If you can't, then you need to manipulate it like this one. We multiplied the top by 3 and the bottom one by negative 5. Once you do that, then you can eliminate one of them. It doesn't matter if it's x or y. Watch when multiplying, it's easy to make a mistake. Once you get one by itself, one variable, solve for it. Once you have that variable solved for it, plug it back into one of the original equations. Doesn't matter which one. No, just pick whatever one that you like. Once you plug it in, solve for that other variable. Then once you have both your variables solved for, plug it into the original equations. Make sure it works for both of them. If it doesn't work for both of them, you probably made a mistake up here. Okay, so always, always, always double check your work.